Marc, thanks so much for joining us today.
Great to be
Let's
here.
start with a little bit about your role at P&G. Tell us what your day-to-day is like.
Oh, geez. Day to day. Most days, there's no one kind of day. They're all somewhat different, but they revolve at least around similar things, focusing on ensuring that our brand building is the absolute best, because that's our ambition. We want to be the best at brand building, any brand, in any industry.
In general, how does one take an old-fashioned concept like a brand and bring it into this new communication era?
Well, you know, the thing about it is that brands that have great equities are very much enduring. Literally just going through our top 25 brands in the U.S. and defining, and looking at what consumers rate them and what rank they are, and you'd be astounded at how many of them are number one. What happens with brands is that you have to ensure that you're always building trust with the consumers. And you're staying top of mind. And the way you build a brand and you make sure that it's going to be enduring, like a Pampers or a Tide or a Crest, is you have the absolute best product. So it has to be the best, especially in the categories in which we compete. The communications part of it, the advertising part of it, is really communicating the promise of the brand, but doing it in a way that tells the consumers that you're reaching that you really understand them, you understand their lives, you understand what they want, and then that promise is paid off when they actually use the product.
Mm-hmm. Tell us how a more diverse and equal workplace helps fuel business.
Diversity creates diversity of thinking, and diversity of thinking creates creativity, and creativity creates innovation. You can't win if you have a homogeneous environment. So that's why diversity is just one of our foundational elements, and it's one of our major efforts. The thing that is still challenging is equality. While we may have some level of diversity, there's still things that aren't equal. There's still not equal representation of men and women, and we want equal representation of men and women. We need at least a proportionate representation of African Americans and Latinos and Asian Americans. So we need that diversity, and it needs to be, and then they need to have equal opportunity, equal roles, equal pay. Mm-hmm. You need all those things, and that's one of the reasons why we push so hard around trying to eradicate anything that gets in the way.
Another thing you guys have been prominent in fighting or championing, and I think the industry should thank you, is transparency. Mm-hmm. and viewability and so forth. Tell us a little bit about some of the progress that you think the industry has made, in part because of your efforts.
Well, I would really want to give a huge amount of credit to Bob Leedy's, the ANA, and the efforts that they've really pioneered for several years on this whole thing. And I think last year was when it kind of came together in a bit of a galvanizing force, focusing on one viewability standard, third-party MRC accredited measurement verification, TAG certified fraud prevention, transparent agency contracts, and brand safety. Mm-hmm. And the point was, we need that, and if we don't get that, then we're going to vote with our dollars.
Give us some advice for other people in your chair from what you've learned. What would you say to a CMO of a smaller company or somebody new to the role?
Don't accept all the touches in between you and the consumer. Identify how you strip away all those touches to make it frictionless between you and that consumer, so you can then make sure you build that relationship with that consumer to drive your business.
Marc, such a pleasure speaking with you. Thank
you
so much for taking the time with us.
Thank you.